Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Black Robe podcast. It's your girl, Anzhane Slaughter, here with the lovely Carol Mitchell. I love that sweater, Carol. You know, purple's my favorite color.
Yeah, I'm doing my husky thing today.
Okay, you know, dogs, we bleed purple and gold.
Yes, I was actually trying to get um, a dress made. I have these beautiful friends in Ghana who make
Mhm.
me clothing. So I was trying to show her the color purple that
Oh,
I would love to sport during the Freedom Summer Symposium. So we'll see how
okay.
close she can get to
Ooh,
husky purple.
I
Because when
like
I said,
that.
the Huskies color, she said, I'm in Ghana. I don't know what a husky is. She said, can you tell me what that is in Twi? I said, I don't know the Twi word for husky. Maybe somebody can help me figure that out.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. I'm so excited for today's episode, guys. We have a very special guest. As you know, it's the month of May, and we're celebrating mothers and women all over, including right here in our very own backyard of Tacoma. Our special guest today is young. She is unapologetically Black, okay? And she is running for office. So let's just go ahead and bring her out, Miss Carol.
Definitely.
All righty. Hi, Chelsea. How are you doing?
There she
I'm
is.
good.
Hey, I kind of liked you sideways. That was kind of cool. Hi, Chelsea.
As we get it right. There we go.
Oh,
Okay,
even
there we go.
even
Get the angles.
better.
We got.
Oh, it's a day. It's been a day. It was great, and we're here.
We're here.
We're
We're
not
here.
even going to edit that out because that was just too cool.
And apparently, you all got the purple memo. I didn't. I love your hair, Chelsea. This
Thank
can you tell
you.
me? Can you tell me where? So I've seen you in pictures with all different types of shades of purple, as far as hair goes, right? And so,
Mhm.
where did the purple hair come from?
Okay, I'm gonna be really transparent. So my favorite color is pink, and nobody would ever know that because my hair is always purple. I'm a preschool teacher, and I've always experimented with colorful hair and just expressing myself, being my true self all the time. And then I got a professional job, and they were kind of struggling with the pink, green, yellow, oranges. But I noticed that no one had a problem with purple. So I changed my hair to purple in 2016, and it just kind of stuck. And then as the evolution of my team and my program and just my personality, I feel like I'm a purple soul. So now I have purple hair. My favorite color is pink, but I have purple hair.
I love that. I
Girl,
love it.
that purple has a rich history. Just
Yes,
saying, it has a
ma'am.
royal history.
Royalty.
There you
And the
go.
woman in purple, that just, there's all sorts of goodness attached to the color purple. Not to
Yeah.
mention the movie, of course. But yes, it
Of
looks
course.
beautiful on you.
It really does. So we know your favorite color is purple. Chelsea, for our audience, real quick, can you just give us a little bit more information about you and where you're from and what you're up to now?
So my name is Chelsea McElroy. I'm born and raised in Tacoma. I am a preschool teacher by trade. I am a community auntie by heart. And currently I'm running for Tacoma Public School Board, position 4.
Woo!
Run on and
Okay,
see what the end is going to be.
that's what excites me. I mean, I already knew that about you, but I don't know if everybody in our audience did. So I was literally sitting on the edge of my seat, just waiting for you to say it, that you're running for office for school board and working with kids early, learning, development, right? It just seems so fit. It's for me, it's like a no-brainer. Like,
Right.
what would you say, Carol?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted her to talk a little bit about the work around ELO because that's still
Yeah.
early learning and ELO. There's I know that Greater Tacoma Community Foundation, of course, our beautiful Farron Johnson was there doing great work. Then moved to Green Trike. green trikes in that space. So tell me how the work you do with early learning fits into that bigger structure.
Yeah. For me, I would say this is an evolution of who I've always been and who I always dreamed I would be. I started in early learning around the age of 14, and what I wanted to accomplish was teaching our kids how to read. There's a huge illiteracy and literacy gap in Tacoma Public Schools. So at 14, I started volunteering in daycares because I'm like, I'm gonna save the kids. I'm gonna teach everybody how to read, which elevated into me becoming a preschool teacher. And I will say, all of my students graduate reading. I don't care where you come from or where you start, you're going to read, um, because that will really change their lives. Um, and that kind of funneled into more of like my heart for giving. And so when you're not being a preschool teacher, there's this whole before and after school space, which is typically not talked about, not cared about. There's no funding for it. So I was a school-age teacher. So before school and after school, I'm getting kids on and off the bus. When I got older, I'm driving the daycare van, one of those daycare van drivers all over town. I was one of those, and I was running school-age program, and that's where I found my passion for actually like helping kids. I wanted to teach them how to read, but then those school-age kids, that before and after school space, it was so invisible for so long. And I started doing research on it. That's I got my degree in early childhood education with a specialization in school age care, which was really important to me. And it was an associate's degree. I got it at base downtown Tacoma. So, we kept it local.
Good
When
for
I got
you.
we got to keep it local. So when I get this degree and I start studying like what's going on in before and after school care, I'm volunteering at the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm researching programs for parents because, of course, in the daycare for your pre-K classroom, parents are always like, oh, what am I going to do when they go to kindergarten? Can you find me a program? Can you look up this or that? And what I saw, there's this huge discrepancy in low cost programs for girls. There's a lot of programs like, let's do this youth outreach, let's do this gang intervention, and there's no programs like that in the city for girls. So I launched Vision Step Team in 2016 to be a low cost program for our girls, the girls in town. And the program started at $0. It went up to $5, and we finally made it to $20 a month. Um, which it still was a big ask for me because I know the community I'm serving and I know why I'm doing this. So most of my people don't really pay the $20, but it is important that I mention that it does cost a fee because people say, oh, it's free. So Vision Section has been going on behind the role in school. Like I wasn't really partnered with anyone. I was just doing it on my own. I was having playground practices. We were meeting up in people's backyards and people's garages to get these girls out, build community, talk about their feelings. And I'm a social emotional coach as well. So I just tied that into the STEP team. Miss Farron, I love her. That's Mama Farron. Mama Farron approached me in 2018. I got a Spark grant from Greater Tacoma Community Foundation for the STEP team. I really just wanted to get the kids jackets. Tying into the purple, we have purple jackets. So I got the Spark grant and they start talking about this initiative for this new program they want to put in the after school space, before and after school space in Tacoma Public Schools. For me, I was like, oh my God, this is my big break. I finally get to work in the district with the kids I've been serving outside of district hours all these years anyway. So why not partner with them? And here we are 3 years later, and I'm still partnered with them. Vision Step Team is, I think we're the only minority-owned community partner who's still doing the ELO space right now in 2021. I know they're going to expand again. They always are expanding. That's why we love Farron, because she is a visionary. Come this fall, I'm sure there's going to be another expansion and we're going to bring in more people, and especially more people like me. There's so many people in Tacoma that care about kids, and you just have to have a doorway in. And Farron has made herself the door to let more people who care about kids get into that space and do the work. And this is really saving kids' lives, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's ELO, from early learning to ELO, the whole this journey.
Well, so then it makes a lot of sense that you, from the time you were 14, you have really been an educator, which the root of that word is to draw out, right? You're drawing out that potential for reading, for learning, for stepping, for whatever it is, and bringing out the best in those young ladies that you work with. But you're also a mommy. A godmommy.
Yeah, I'm a godmom. I love being a godmommy.
How'd that
This all
happen?
right. This all ties into my work. So I started in a preschool, and the preschool we had a lot of at-risk students. We took foster care, CPS placement, the waivers, so the homeless family vouchers and things like that. So we were really an at-risk site. My mom has a background in social work, and as a director, she thought it was important that we took on these cases of kids who nobody in the city really wanted to take. So I became a respite care provider through, at that point, Department of Early Learning, and I was providing respite break time for grandparents raising their grandkids. And this particular family, I've been with, oh my God, I'm going into 13 years with them. I'm no longer their respite care provider. My oldest, she sat me down when she was 7, and she looked me in the face and she was like, so can you be my other mother? I need a mother. Are you going to be my mother? And mind you, we're running after school programs. So we're doodling and we're doing our journals of self-reflection. And that's what she reflected on that day. I want a mom, and I want you to be my mom. And so I told her, okay, if I'm going to be your mom, we need to get your sister's consent, because her sister, she was 7, so her sister was like 4 at the time. Little one was like, you've been my mom. You don't need to tell me twice. You know, she got all the energy, all the attitude. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be both of your mom, and you're okay with this. So I told the oldest, you need to come up with a name for me, because I can't be Miss Chelsea or Teacher Chelsea. That's really awkward, you know, when you're staying at my house 3 days a week, and it's just awkward. So 7 years ago, June 14th, I became an other mother, and I've been having a great time ever since. My 2 babies, they love me. They're both on the STEP team. They spend a lot of time with my family as well. We just provide that safe space and that other mother, that other family, and it's been great.
How old are they now?
14 and 11, and I've been with them since the oldest was 18 months. So we've been in each other's life their whole life. They don't know a life absent of me. I tried to go away to college. I didn't last long. I missed them a lot. They missed me a lot. And, you know, we just made it work here and back home.
Well, we're glad you came back and brought your energy, your talent, your smile, your purple hair, all of that goodness back to Tacoma and Pierce County. And Anjane, now she's running for office for the school board. And so you don't even have an opponent, do you? Are people
No,
that
ma'am.
intimidated?
Okay.
Why do you think that's so? Why do you feel like you have not drawn an opponent yet?
I think currently I'm running for a seat that the incumbent is retiring from, right? And just a big shout out to Andrea Cobb. She is wonderful. She's highly intelligent. She is so amazing, like following her path, how she got into the school board. I was one of those people who were like, how can we support her campaign? You know, I didn't know a lot about politics at the time, but I know my mom was out there, my grandparents, my family, they all supported her run for office. And so when I found out that she wouldn't be running again, I called, hey, can I get your blessing to run for your seat? I thought it was important. Representation matters. I've been looking at the stats on our school district. We are 62% minority population in Tacoma Public Schools. So when you have 62%, you have to have a school board that reflects that. When you have like 50% low income families in the school district, you really want to have people who represent that, people who know those people. So I think a reason why people are not running against me is because I'm a person who does the work. I'm doing the work. I run a free program for these kids and these families. I've worked in and out of school time with children. And I think it'd be really difficult for someone to throw their hat in and say, I'm going to do this. Well, what do you bring to the table that I'm already not bringing to the table? And I think a smart opponent would say, I'm bringing this that she doesn't have, but I want someone to tell me, what don't I have?
Okay, I like that energy. You better keep that up, Chelsea, because confidence is key. And in so many spaces, do young Black individuals feel like we don't belong in these spaces or to hold these seats? You know, we're intimidated just by the process alone because we don't know how to file for, that we're running or something like that. So it's just so refreshing to see your confidence. And I hope the people that are watching that maybe are, wondering, can I run for school board? Can I, run for, shoot, a House representative seat or whatever?
Right?
You know, yes,
Why
you
not?
can. Exactly. Why not? Especially if you've already been doing the work. Like Chelsea here, she was doing it before there was even a solution to do it. Okay. When she found a void or a need, you went out there and you addressed it, right? I mean, like you said, it was costly sometimes. You took a lot of hours out of your own personal, time to really give back to your community. And anybody else that's already doing that, oh yeah, in my book, you're more than qualified to run for office.
Right. These are the people. And for me, I want to be, like I was saying about fair and being a door for so many of us in this space. In the political space, I'm trying to be a door. Like, let me open the floodgates to bring that confidence to our young and specifically Black community. They are not involved, and it's because we don't feel like we belong. We're told that there's these rules we need to follow that we've never read the book on. And when you're not given an opportunity to even learn, you get shut down from the beginning. It becomes a problem. For me, Anjane, you've seen me in action. I will beat down the door until there's an opening because I deserve to have space here. You deserve space here. So we're gonna make that space happen.
Well, and then
Absolutely.
it's exactly the reason why the Institute for Black Justice exists and why this podcast
Yes,
exists, is because we want to create safe space for beautiful young talent like you, like Anjane, like Carol Mitchell, except for the young part,
yes,
uh, for us to be able to challenge stereotypes about what's possible for people in your demographic and mine, or people who have our skin color. There are stereotypes about what we're capable of and what we can and cannot do. You are challenging that stereotype. I especially
yes.
love the photograph of you, Kiara Daniels. Remember the one you guys were up on the
Corey
rooftop? Like,
Strozier, Alicia Cunningham, girl, that picture, that moment, it was life changing for me. I really wasn't taking my race, my bid seriously. I really didn't think that the city cared. First, I didn't think the city cared about the school board races, and there me, Corey, and Alicia are, right? And then I really didn't think that there was this big support. We didn't seek that out. They sought us out. And that is really pivotal for me. And that's when I was like, people are noticing, and we're game changers. We're stepping in here, and just it's so amazing to represent your city where you grew up. I know Corey graduated from Lincoln. I graduated from
mhm.
Bellarmine, but I'm a child of this city. Kiara went lived in Hilltop all her life, an advocate for the city. Ann Artman did the Tacoma Recovery Center. And Alicia Cunningham, she's working with Girl Scouts of Western Washington. And I mean, my program, we just became a Girl Scout troop. So, I'm like, okay, we're all doing the work.
Yes.
We're
And
all
one of
doing the
our
work.
favorite Girl Scouts, Senator Tawana Nobles, right?
Oh, I didn't even know.
I think well, I know I think she was a Girl Scout because I
I
know
could
she's
believe
done
it.
some work and supports a lot of what they do. I mean, that's a whole thing that growing up, Black girls typically didn't get to do. Girl Scouts and
Mm-hmm.
brownies, that was like something that you didn't get an opportunity to do. And so,
Right.
again, we have to challenge some of these old stereotypes and push those boundaries between what
Mm-hmm.
we can and cannot do. Young people like you, especially, you don't have to have a master's degree or 42 years of experience to sit on the
Right.
school board. Thank God.
Thank
Exactly.
God.
And Chelsea, so one thing though I'm curious about, right? It's good. You're running unopposed right now, and I know filing dates coming up pretty soon. So let's just cross our fingers it stays that way and it's just a smooth transition for you. But what's really important is that we also can get people that look like us and that are in our demographic out here voting and actually
Mhm.
civically engaged. So have you or do you have plans to really trying to increase the voter turnout with this election? I mean, I know, like I said, I hope it's a smooth transition and that you don't need it. But if you do need it, I want us to show up for you. So how is that going?
I feel for me, I'm such a people person. That is why the past year was really difficult. Zoom is hard, the phone is hard, texting is hard. I love people, right? And so when you're a person serving people, you're so used to walking up to people, talking to people. And I still feel like I'm changing the world person at a time. I live in South Tacoma, so I'm at grocery outlet all the time. I'm the lady with purple hair. They're so used to me in there. And so, someone will start saying something. I'm like, you know what? And I just be butting into conversation. And that really has been helping people. Were not registered to vote. People did not know that there was an election in the odd years. I mean, just from being a people person, being willing to talk to people, people are learning a lot. And I personally think like I said, I'm someone going to beat down the door. So every door I bust through, I'm bringing a lot of people with me. So I do intentionally make time to speak to young people. I have a whole coalition of 15 and 16-year-olds I've been mentoring, and they're learning about civics through me. And I can't wait to get that into a bigger platform. More kids need to know about being civically engaged, and they can't know that if there's no one supporting that on a major level.
You need to make sure those young people get signed up for the Freedom Summer Symposium.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks to a grant from South Sound Together, we're not even charging a ticket admission price. You just need to register on Eventbrite, and we'll send you the link. But
Yeah, I
definitely
know some
get those
people
young
who need
people
it.
in there. Yes.
Yes.
We are so excited for the Freedom Summer Symposium. And I'm even more excited because did I hear, Chelsea, that you were going to be a designer?
Can we talk you into it if it fits your schedule?
Going to be in our design show?
Okay. You guys read, right? I know you guys read because you guys wouldn't be running a podcast. Podcast people are readers. So in January, I read Shonda Rhimes' The Year of Yes. And so, are you asking? Because if you ask and I have to say yes, did you ask?
I'm definitely asking. Please, we need your voice, your passion, your advocacy to be in this conversation. Again, for viewers that maybe are tuning in for the first time, our Freedom Summer Symposium is a 3-day design challenge hosted by the IBJ, partnered with University of Washington, Tacoma.
Purple.
Purple.
You'll fit right in, Chelsea.
This is a social justice event, okay? We're seeking out 18 to 35-year-olds. We have about 15 spots left. We're giving stipends of $500 to all designers to appreciate their time and their valued experience that they're willing to share with us. And ultimately, we're looking at what are creative ways to get our age, our demographic, young 18 to 35-year-olds engaged and involved, right? And so we're looking for the leaders that have a voice, that want to say and be a part of this input. And then what's even more so amazing is that the IBJ is going to pilot the program the following year of whoever team wins this challenge. So It's super dope. I'm super excited. And then, I'm even more excited now that Chelsea is going to be.
I think that's beautiful.
I will be there.
So of all of the work that you've done, Chelsea, because we've got to close here in just a few minutes, but of all of the work that you've done, which part of your work is bringing you the most joy? I know you've done the Vision Steppers and ELO program and daycare and preschool teaching. Now you're running for school board. So maybe that, aside from that, where do you find your joy? Which part feeds your soul the most?
This hurts, right? Because you have to choose one. But I would say it's definitely my step team. I think as a Black girl growing up in Tacoma, I didn't have a lot of friends because I grew up on a side of town that didn't have a lot of people who looked like me. There was a lot of trauma associated with not having and making friends. So being able to create a program for little me to go into a space that's safe, to make friends. Now we're a Girl Scouts program. It's been so many layers of just growing this program into something sustainable, something meaningful. And on top of that, I have the pleasure, I have hired my teenagers, my first babies. They are all paid youth staff within Vision Step Team. So I've got 14, 15, and my oldest baby, she's 22, but she's mine, okay? I hired her too. It just has brought me so much joy to elevate this program, to have Black girls feeling loved and seen and wanted in Tacoma. In 2020, the last show we did was on the MLK stage, right before we went to the People Center, right? We did the MLK big stage. It's on our YouTube channel. And the way that you could just feel it, you could feel it coming out of them, you know? And so that's what I always wanted to do, was to uplift little Black girls in Tacoma, let them know, like, you're seen, you're loved, you're wanted. I could cry just how much this program, it feeds me every single day. It don't pay me, but it feeds me.
We can relate to that, but your gift is going to make room for you, and the windows of heaven are going to open and pour you out a blessing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure Elder Curry would have said something like that back in the day. For
Definitely.
those who don't know, that the Currys and the McElroy family, you're part of that beautiful legacy. So I am sure your family's really proud of you. Thank
Yes,
you for
ma'am.
being here tonight. Anjane, you got anything else before we let this beautiful purple-haired school board running, step in preschool teaching
God, mom, yes.
God mom
Right.
go?
I love it. I love it. And I just want to thank you as well, Chelsea, for your time and for just sharing the space with us, sharing your story with us. We really do appreciate it. I hope that our viewers were encouraged or inspired by your stories, that you are that I don't want to say gatekeeper. What's the other word? But
The
you're
door.
I'm a chain breaker, a door breaker. I don't know. We doing it.
You're not the anti-gatekeeper. That is what you are. For sure. And I just know that there's going to be tons of other leaders following up behind you. Who knows? You might inspire me to do something a little.
You better do it.
Thank
Look,
you
now I
so
know
much,
where the
Chelsea.
pressure is. Thank you guys so much.
Very glad to have you here. So we will see you very soon, I'm sure. We'll be able to recognize you from, a block or two away with that beautiful hair. And Anjane, make sure we get in touch with her about the design challenge.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my friend. Good night.
Good.
All righty, guys.
Now,
Wow. Her story honestly almost brought me to tears. Just
that's
how
our future. That kind of thinking, that's what it's going to take to revolutionize our communities. That's what it's going to take. Young people like that at 14 deciding that they're just going to make it better for somebody else, some younger person that they're connected to.
Absolutely. And she's still impacting the next generation, not only in her work with the STEP team, but outside of her work, she's building up, more civically engaged young adults, right? And so, when the work that we're doing, it doesn't happen right away. We don't start seeing the results right away. It takes almost a whole generation to kind of really switch things up. And I think that's where Chelsea and I are sitting right now. We had some people, or maybe just a spark, something to tell us we need to give back. We need to do something. We need to get out there and step out there. And then it kind of has this trickle down effect, because everyone that we now impact is going to impact someone else. And it's just beautiful. That's what gives me hope, is to see people like Chelsea, and to hear what she's doing out there. So,
well, I'm proud of you both, and very happy that we have this venue to be able to highlight young people like you, like Chelsea. I just think, hey, and next week we have a super special program coming next week.
Yes,
because
we have
Sterling Elliott's going to be with us, and the Northwest Sinfonietta is
Mm.
coming to the Black Robe podcast.
Okay.
Elliott's coming.
Yes.
And people may not know him, but he is this incredibly talented cellist. So if you want to, knock down a stereotype about what young Black men can do, Sterling Elliott certainly is going to knock that stereotype right out of the box. And he's going to be with us next week. So stay tuned for that, everybody.
Stay tuned,
all right,
guys.
Miss Anjane, you want to close this out, beautiful?
Of course. So, Carol, as always, it's such a pleasure doing these podcasts and having these conversations with you guys. And for everybody at home that's listening in, thank you again. If anyone out there is interested about the Freedom Summer Symposium, you can learn more about it on our website at instituteforblackjustice.org. We're still looking for some entertainers. If you guys are spoken word artists, singers, rappers, or oil paint artists, we want to see your art, and we would love to incorporate you into our Freedom Summer Symposium. So also reach out to us at our email, which you can find on our website. But that's it for now. I can't wait to hear that good old cello.
I know. I'm excited too. And in fact, we're going to get a couple of free Zoom tickets to his performance here locally. So people need to be watching and paying attention because we might have a little drawing next week where they can get those free tickets. Yeah. So thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you guys.
We'll see ya.
Right. See you next
Bye.
week.